Air National Guard is a reserve component of the United States Air Force and serves alongside active-duty Air Force members in times of a national crisis. In addition, the Air Guard serves the state and local community in a wide range of capacities. The reason people join the Air Guard is as diverse as our members and includes such reasons as a deep desire to serve their country, money for college, travel, new job skills, and the pride that goes along with belonging to the greatest military organization in the world. I joined because I felt a calling to serve my country, but I didn't want to be far away from my family, so the Indiana Air National Guard was a perfect fit for me. With over 95 different career opportunities to choose from and 100% paid college tuition to any state-funded college, why not give us a call? Call 1-800-841-3103 or visit online at goang.com to find out more. Again, that's 1-800-841-3103. The Air National Guard, guarding America, defending freedom.
It's double trouble, double the fun at African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. See the largest antelope on Earth, the giant eland, and the ugliest creature on Earth, the African warthog. There's so much to see and do, including the Midwest's only drive-through safari. Feed the animals, see live educational shows, feel the excitement. Have your picture taken with a python or cockatoo. Feel the adventure. Shop the Simba Lodge gift shop with items available from around the globe. Visit the snack bar or picnic facilities. Enjoy a pony or camel ride. Or cheer your favorite porker on to victory in the famous Pork Chop Down. Bring your family to see the rare and exotic animals at African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. Just take Route 2 to the Route 53 North exit and follow the sign. Only 17 miles west of Cedar Point via Route 6. Open every day, rain or shine.
When you don't go to geico.com, car insurance can be confusing. Like Swedish techno confusing.
Bark, bark, meow, meow. Dance with me, purple cow. Bark, bark, meow, meow. Ooh, you lovely cow.
Geico makes it easy. With 24/7 access, all you have to do is go to geico.com and you can save money on car insurance. It just makes sense. Unlike, you know.
Dance with me, purple cow. I like your moves.
When you don't go to geico.com, car insurance can be hard. Like early 90s heavy metal hard.
I'm yelling and screaming and I'm loud. Roar.
Geico makes it easy. You can review and update your policy or report a claim on geico.com or the Geico mobile app. Because shouldn't we all have a little less stress in our lives?
I'm not even upset about anything.
All right, and welcome back to The Balance. Thank you, Tyson Lautenschlager, for joining us on pitroad.com, calling from up in Toronto, talking some Indy Car with us, and throwing in a little homer card with him for the Toronto Raptors. But joining us now is our dear friend and official NFL contributor, Ed Kracz, beat writer for the Philadelphia Eagles. You can find his work on the Sports Xchange mayhem. I don't know what, can't remember. But Ed Kracz, how are you, sir?
Hey, I'm good, Tom. How you doing? Good morning.
Good. I promise you we'll get it right where people can find your work here. First of all, before we get into some NFL talk, congratulations on graduating the young one to college. It's always good to know that you did your duty as a parent, right?
Yeah, I know. Big milestone. A lot of fun. What was really cool was, he went to NYU, New York University, and the main graduation was in the Yankee Stadium, which was just terrific. It was a beautiful day, sitting along the third base line, all the graduates in the lower bowl, behind the dugouts, the home plate, and every flag atop Yankee Stadium that day was an NYU flag. So it was so cool. There were about 30,000 people watching the graduates, and it was just a spectacular day, something I'll always remember.
Well, of course, and it wouldn't have mattered if it happened in a small arena. It's your son's graduation. So what's his next step? What's his aspirations from here?
Well, he's working for a company based out of Philadelphia called Venture for America. It's they work with startup companies around the country. He'll be probably going to one of those startups. He's maybe looking at going to Birmingham or San Francisco. I mean, it's still kind of open. He goes to Detroit for a month in July as kind of a training program, and then they'll see where he goes from there. So, it's a 2-year fellowship, and he had some opportunities to stay in New York and work on Wall Street, but he wants to do this fellowship and work with some startups and maybe someday start his own company. But we'll see. That's down the line. He's young. He's in his 20s. Remember those days, Tom, when you're in your 20s and you're just kind of figuring it all out?
You know what?
Yeah.
I do remember those days when I was. Remember that text I sent you, and we're getting off on the weeds here. We're going to get on here in just a minute, but we had an auction for a good. It was for a good cause, and we do this every year at work. But we had an auction where we auction off. This is a silent auction. We auction off different things, and I won't tell you how much I paid for it, but I sent you a text. So I got a basket full of adult beverages, and the best of adult beverages. And I had a friend over last night. Me and her were creating drinks, and so I'm not in my 20s anymore. I could definitely tell you that. But let's talk about the 20s, the 30s, the millions. Come on, can I play a hot take? You know where I'm going. Let's get it over with. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. The Philadelphia Eagles give a huge contract to an unproven quarterback. There's my hot take. I know you're going to defend it, so go ahead, sir.
Well, listen, that's kind of the price of doing business with quarterbacks. The Eagles believe they have a franchise quarterback, a face of the franchise in Carson Wentz. It's not a willy-nilly type of a decision. This is something they firmly believe in. They have a lot of faith in number 11 that he'll be able to stay healthy more often than not. I know the last 2 years he's finished the season on the sidelines watching with an injury. But this is something that they projected when they made him the second overall pick in 2016 when they flew out to Fargo, North Dakota. The owner, the GM, and the coach flew out to Fargo, took him out to dinner, came away not just impressed with how smart he was, but just how personable he was and how well-liked he was in that entire state, having played at North Dakota State. They had the one good year with him. Well, he stayed healthy his rookie year, played all 16. And then he probably would have been the MVP in 2017 had he not torn his 2 knee ligaments. So, he hasn't really proven anything over the long term yet, but they firmly believe that they have a quarterback that has all the tools to have this team kind of contend to get to the Super Bowl every year for the next 5-6 years. And when you look at the contract, Tom, it's really it's not the richest contract in NFL history. He did get a lot of guaranteed money. That much is a record. $107.9 million of that will be guaranteed. But it's not the richest. If you look at he signed now for 6 years. At an average of about $26 million, which is less than Russell Wilson, which is less than Tom Brady, probably will be less than Pat Mahomes and maybe even Jared Goff once they come due. So I just think that the Eagles, it's hard to find what they think is a franchise quarterback, what you can identify as a franchise quarterback. You have Andrew Luck there in Indianapolis, and he got a big contract, and he's been hurt. But, if you believe you have that guy, then why not just pay him what the cost of doing business is, and that's kind of what the going rate is for a quarterback. When you look at the Eagles, too, when they had Donovan McNabb for that run in the early part of this century, a good 10-year run, 5 NFC championship games, never won the Super Bowl, but they hadn't had anybody since they traded him in 2010. They went through the Mike Vicks and the Sam Bradfords, and now they have what they feel is a franchise quarterback, and they're just rewarding him as such.
And I agree with that. I think that he, as we remember a few years ago, he gave all of his players shotguns, which I'm a big fan of, and maybe not a lot of people in the world were like, was not a big fan of that. But yeah, I think Carson Wentz is great for the locker room. I think he's a good quarterback. And maybe let's pull the trigger now. Let's seal the deal so that we can make sure that he doesn't go anywhere. But you always got to wonder. It's like when you go to Vegas. Am I putting the money down all on red, and red loses? I mean, because you just never know. So what happens if Carson gets hurt again? And what happens if, because you don't have Nick Foles again? I mean, that was your rainy day money, if you will. You don't have him now. So what happens if a rainy day comes back to Philadelphia?
Well, the Eagles, I guess you're hoping for the law of averages, okay? He's played 3 seasons in the NFL. He played a full season 1 year, and he's gotten hurt twice. Now, they have him for 6 more years. Are all 6 of those seasons going to be plagued by injury? I would say the law of averages would say no. And, when he's healthy, he is a top quarterback. I think everybody across the league will agree that he has all the tools. So, I think the law of averages are in Wentz and the Eagles' favor that he's going to stay healthy at least one of those years, if not more of those years. But listen, a lot of that is incumbent on Wentz too. There are things he needs to learn, and you hope that he does learn them now, knowing that, look, I'm the face of this franchise. I have to stay upright. He needs to get rid of the ball quicker. We've talked about that since he entered the league. He's one of those quarterbacks that likes to hang on to the ball and try to make a play every single time he drops back to pass, and that's not always beneficial to your health. You need to say, I'm going to live to fight another down, and I'll throw it away, and I'll take the incompletion, and we'll do the 3rd and 12. So he's got to learn how to do that, and you hope that maybe this will help him learn to do that. And as far as a rainy day money quarterback, you're right. They have Nate Sudfeld, who, listen, he had a really good spring. The Eagles start a mandatory minicamp on Tuesday, 3 days, and then they head into summer until training camp opens in late July. But, Nate Sudfeld, we don't know really what he is. The Eagles have loved him for the last couple of years. Indiana kid, of course. Went to Indiana. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think he's a California kid originally, but they had a couple open practices, and I watched him, and he had a terrific final day that we were allowed to watch, which was this past Wednesday. It was, and boy, he had 3 touchdown throws in red zone drills, throwing the ball on the money. I mean, listen, if you can translate that into a Sunday game or a Monday night or what he did in the spring, then the Eagles will have found themselves a pretty good backup quarterback. But we don't know. We don't know for sure how that will translate. He's been in the league now. He's been with the Eagles in the system for 3 years. Remember, he entered the league when Carson Wentz came into the league in 2016. Carson was the 2nd overall pick. Sudfeld went in the 6th round to the Redskins. So, but he's developed. I think he's developed well enough that the Eagles believe in him. But, as a fan base, I'm not sure we know enough to say, okay, we're fine if something happens to Carson. I don't think you're fine more than a few games if Wentz goes down for 6, 7, 8 games. I'm not sure Sudfeld can carry the load that long, but we don't know that yet. You hope if you're an Eagles fan that you don't have to see that.
We're in that time of year where it doesn't matter what position that you play. This is the time of the year where you kind of just work on honing your skill. You mentally prepare with the playbook. You get in the work in the workout room and you work out. And you just kind of, because before long, in a week or two, we're going to be in full-fledged minicamp, and then we're going to be in training camp, and then we're going to be in regular season, and it's full speed ahead. So now is the time for them to hone their speed, to hone their craft, if you will. And it doesn't matter how good you are, you still got to take time to step back and hone your craft. Let's talk about